And the future of technology will be shaped by the macro trends we are experiencing in the space of healthcare today. And to begin with, one of the major trends is that of a shift in point of care. We are seeing globally trends towards more elective procedures moving to outpatient settings, with reduced length of stay being a primary focus. With careful selection of patients and further enhancements in surgical techniques and procedural improvements in recovery and safety, we expect this trend to continue to percolate globally. Over the past decade, we have seen trends of rising consumerism, where we as consumers of products and services have more knowledge of choices and are selective with options that are more personalized to our needs. This is seen with the rising levels of engagement in surgical selections with higher expectations are the type of care patients can receive in the US as well as private pay patients across the world. And of course, with the growth of robotics and the fundamental adoption of robotic surgeries. When knee and hip replacement surgeries are following very similar trends as other healthcare industries that have seen robotics become standard of care. As we stand here today, more than 30% of knee replacement surgeries in the world are being performed robotically as per healthcare reports. And finally, another major trend being acceleration of healthcare technologies and investments, where we have almost seen a 3 times growth of investments in robotics, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and digital health solutions, which we anticipate to continue shaping the orthopedics market over the next 5 to 10 years. And this is leading to a new definition of value that is expected from customers, which are surgeons, which are patients, for our implants and technologies. Traditional value creation was defined as the quality of a product or service and the outcomes it provided, divided by the cost of said product or service. But now, it is trending more towards quicker innovation due to more data from surgeries, a stronger relationship and partnership between healthcare industries and surgeons such as yourself, leading to a generation of meaningful data through and from technology that drives innovation and value creation. And it is this new definition of value that stems the new era of change in our design and development thought process for the industry. Traditional product design and development in the medical sector has been perceived as slow moving, but is now morphing into a much faster paced revolution of connected, intelligence, and automated products that serve an ecosystem of care. And this is where the combination of implants, material science, design personalization of those implants to anatomic characteristics of patients, but also with intelligence and standardization of techniques with robotics planning, balancing, and smart execution comes into play. As a part of Smith & Nephew over the past decade, we've had more than 20 launches in the market, averaging about 2 launches a year, along with the only second generation robotic system with Cori as a platform solution to scale robotics to support knees, hips, and other indications. In the space of knees, Cori supports partials, totals, and is the only robotic system that's FDA cleared for robotic revision replacement surgery in the knee space. And in terms of the near future as to where we see this technology going, stemming from the thought process of value creation, we see, and we have just launched personalized planning in the US that is powered by AI. And we see that as our future. And the way it works is that beyond just looking at alignment in a 2-dimensional plane, in the coronal plane when someone is standing, with Cori surgeries, we have the ability to analyze data, the surfaces that a patient has, the ligament laxity that a patient has in 3-dimensional space, and see the changes and personalization choices that US surgeons are making for different categories of patients. And when clustered using machine learning principles, we are able to get more information and get engines built behind it that can look at patients with similar deformity classifications in 3D space and allow you as a surgeon to personalize a plan that belongs to that patient for your philosophies and their preferences. And to show you how it works and how we've built it all together, we've made these AI clusters available in Cori in a stage called personalized planning powered by AI. This is now a part of your profile in the system, which will allow you to select the implant of choice and the type of deformity you want to personalize for. And from there, you can choose your philosophy for where Cori will start your patient's implant plans. As you do more and more cases, this algorithm just keeps getting stronger within your system. And you can personally change these starting positions and preferences for different deformities. And this is just the start of the journey for us in AI. We also recently announced the launch of our Cori digital tensioner in the US, which is the first and only device for robotics that can measure ligament laxity consistently before making any bony cuts. So with tools like this, you can quantify the gap balance in a knee and use that data to guide all your cuts on the femur and tibia so that you can optimize space and cuts with the potential of reducing the amount of ligament releases. And this before any cuts have been made. And this robotic procedure with consistent balancing, AI tied to our solutions, we believe will shape the next frontier of 3D plane personalization with soft tissues in consideration. All of it powered with robotics in your hands. And while we focus on improving efficiencies with handheld milling and add more techniques of bone cut execution, we are also fundamentally looking at procedural efficiencies that we can bring in today, where we are building tools that add value to the Cori surgical system. Speaking similarly on the knee space, we are building tools that can bring pinless bone tracking as an option into your practice with Cori. And not only that, add solutions so that you can utilize tools to have fast, efficient execution within a robotics platform with saws. And then you can adjust those guides so that you can make saw-based cuts, but then finally fine-tune with handheld precision milling. And that ties in all together to have an end-to-end complete procedural solution. We have launched our revision knee application and indication with the Cori system in the US and scaling globally very shortly in the near future. And not only that, but the Cori system is a single platform that also supports hips. In the hip application side, we have two fundamental elements. One, our image-free pre-op planner, which is our RI hip modeler. With the RI hip modeler solution, surgeons are able to now look at implant choices of cups and stems and their selections of neck lengths and inclination, anteversion, and stem version, and really see for different activities of daily living, which you can see on the bottom right-hand side quadrant, what are the potential chances that a patient might impinge. Now, while this is implant-to-implant impingement, the key is optimizing that goal. Because if we can optimize that goal and aim for precision of what should a plan be, then we can execute that with handheld tools with the Cori system with RI hip in the intraoperative space. And that is where we've started our journey with hips, but expect to continue the same and continue building upon it and add more robotic elements onto these applications. And that really drives down to the goals that we have and the vision that we have, which is delivering transformational technology solutions to our surgeons to serve our patients to live life unlimited. Evolving this with tools, with digital tools, with outcome assessments, as well as digital apps, we are really looking at shaping the future of orthopedics with robotics. And all of this will be made available for you to analyze with our data outcomes platform called RI Insights. And as we look further into the future, with RI Insights that is available in select markets today, not only can you see the types of cases that we are doing with robotics and the amount of time we're taking, but we have tools to essentially look at previous cases and say, how have I treated patients within a certain category of, let's say, varus or valgus and certain gap deformities? And not only can we look at within those conditions, how have you as a surgeon specifically treated patients, but also look at how has a region and a geography or the entire world been treating such patients, and then tie that back into the system. And that essentially is where we see man and machine working in perfect harmony. This is where artificial intelligence, along with robotics, machine learning comes together in your hands to provide our patients with real intelligence for their surgeries. And that is where we see the future going in Smith and Nephew. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the invitation